Hello and welcome back inside Rogers Place for Oilers TV Playoffs live postgame presented by Sport Check. The Edmonton Oilers dropping a 6-3 decision in Game 3 to the Anaheim Ducks by a final score of 6-3. As we take a look at the tail of the tape, shots 28-27 in favor of the Ducks, hits 47-39 for Edmonton. The power plays 0 for 3 for the Oilers. The Ducks got a late one. They went 0 for 4 on the night. Face-off percentage, we knew this would be a big story heading into this series. The Ducks lead that margin tonight by a 57.8% margin to 42.2% for the Edmonton Oilers. This game, you knew Anaheim was going to come out strong after dropping both games in Orange County. The Ducks, a veteran team that have been through this situation many times before. They've dropped the first two games of a series 7 times in franchise history. They've come back to force a Game 7 in those instances 3 times, of course, in losing in Game 7 all 3 times that they were able to force it. This one, 25 seconds. It was the Ducks' Ricard Raquel getting on the board, quieting the Rogers Place crowd early on, and then it would be Jakob Silfverberg, who had a big night, 3 points on the night. He would add a goal at 5:33. Then it was Ryan Getzlaf unassisted. The Oilers did manage to score before the end of the first period, so they were able to get the Anaheim lead to cut to just 2 after the Ducks jumped out to a 3-1 lead. Patrick Maroon scoring with just 40 seconds left on the clock. Then early in the second period, the Oilers managed to claw their way back. We've seen all postseason long across the league that no lead is really safe when you're playing in the playoffs, and that proved to be true in the second period. Anton Slepyshev will get the Oilers to within 1, and then it was Conor McDavid, what was possibly the playoff goal of the year, at the 8:40 mark. That's as close as the Oilers would get in this game. After that, we would see Chris Wagner score just 48 seconds later, and that would be the backbreaker for the Oilers. Wagner's goal, a tough one for Cam Talbot, sneaks in under his arm. And then the Ducks would add a couple more in the third period to take Game 3 by a final score of 6-3. You knew it. The Ducks would come out strong. They played very comfortably. And the Oilers much better than they did coming into Game 4 of their last series. Of course, we all remember them dropping a 7-0 decision. But they still lose this one. So 2-1, the Oilers lead the series. We're going to go now to the Oilers locker room.
We weren't ready to play, and we found ourselves down 3 and having to climb back. That being said, we did, and then I think we were a little rusty on the power play. We didn't really capitalize at all and create any momentum for our team. So that was obviously a turning point. And then they get one halfway through the third to take over.
Cam's as hard on himself as anybody. Because you just look at last game, for sometimes it's going to go one way, other nights it goes a different way.
You know what? Cam's been the backbone of this team. He's basically stole game 2 for us. So I think it's a situation where we're in San Jose where we learn from that as far as trying to learn from this one and putting it behind us. So we got to be better.
To climb all the way back.
Offside, Jordan, what did you see?
I was on the ice. Haven't seen the replay. So I know that the call was inconclusive, and that's all I really have to say.
You had McDavid moved on to you guys' line for the bulk of that game. Were you frustrated you weren't able to produce a little bit more with him there, or how did you feel it went when you had him?
Well, I think Todd's known for when things aren't going the way we want him to. He shuffles them a bit, and we actually created some momentum as far as in the game. 4-4 lines after that. It was frustrating. We didn't capitalize any chance. Luch had a couple good looks, and Connor obviously got the 1-4-4. But I think the biggest thing is the other side of the puck. We got scored on twice at the end, and you can't have that.
To climb all the way back and get it.
Mark Letestu.
That's Jordan Eberle in the Oilers locker room. Eberle -3 on the night with 3 shots. A tough one for the Oilers. He was on the ice for a controversial goal in the third period that we'll take a look at later on. We'll go back now to the Oilers room.
That's over with now. We've still won 2 difficult games in a difficult building. To have an opportunity to go back there 3-1. And that's the silver lining. There's nothing we can do about what's already done. So for us, there's a couple days here between games, a little chance to refocus, and the expectation is we're going to bounce back like we have all year with a really good effort at home.
Mark, sorry for jumping in late, but the slow start. Can you put your finger on what you saw from your team, or maybe from them, their desperation?
Well, our structure, the diligence we kind of usually play with wasn't there. They throw in a trick play there to get that first goal, and guys kind of went on their heels a little bit. But I liked our pushback. Our second period I thought was great. We had a game similar to this at San Jose, get away and end up 7-0. We battled back, got ourselves into a hockey game, and they pushed again. They found a couple more goals than us, but the hole at the start, it's too big to dig ourselves out of. But I liked our pushback.
Mark, to get even and climb all the way back and have that.
There's the Oilers' Mark Letestu speaking to the media following a 6-3 loss in Game 3 as the Ducks cut the Oilers' series lead in half. Letestu -1 on the night. We're going to go back to the Oilers' dressing room. Patrick Maroon standing by.
Eventually, I think we're finding ways to lose one, and tonight was the one. But we don't want to lose anymore. We got to find ways to find our game. Just find our game. The last two games weren't us. That's not the Edmonton Oilers that you guys been watching the last bit. So we got to find ways to forget about the last two games, and we're still in a great spot and play Game 4 like we know how we can.
Sorry if you were asked this. Cam's as hard on himself as anybody. He gives you a chance to win every single night.
Yeah.
I think tonight was maybe one of those nights where you guys, where he didn't have it. You guys needed to find a few more goals.
Oh no, he didn't. That's not on him. That's on us. That's on the players. That's on the players just being on their toes and being ready and being focused. Cam's been there all year for us. That's not Cam's fault. That's just being sloppy, and we're not winning battles on the boards, not getting pucks out, not focusing on our structure, and that's not Cam's fault by any means. That's on the players.
When you guys lost 7-0 to San Jose, I think that's it.
Connor, and then we'll move on to coaches, guys.
Patrick Maroon with his third goal of the postseason. Doesn't like the way the team has played in the last two games. Says that's not the Oilers that we've grown to become accustomed to in the postseason. We sent it back down to the Oilers' room. The captain, Conor McDavid, speaking.
Ultimately, they're a good hockey team. Everyone knows that. They wouldn't be here. They wouldn't be in the position they are if they weren't. So, we expected a good game, and they delivered.
You lose a game and these things happen, but you played 2 games in a row where they've been the better team by some margin. Is that concerning?
Sure, I guess. I don't know. No, it's not. I mean, it's whatever. It's a long series. We're still up 2-1. We're still in a decent spot. They won on Wednesday, no doubt.
I feel like you guys got chasing that game early and just never really got cut up the way you wanted to.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we did a good job battling back to tie it up, but ultimately we definitely didn't deserve to win that one. So I think whatever luck we might have had in Game 2 definitely wasn't there tonight.
You battle all the way back and you tie it up. To then have that one go in 48 seconds later, do you think that one was the backbreaker maybe?
No, I think we were still in the game after that. Had some good chances to tie it up. That long shift, that power play. We had a lot of good looks to tie the game, and ultimately we just didn't deliver, and they found a way to capitalize.
Go ahead. You feel like in the D zone things got as loose tonight as they have been in some time for you guys, just with some of the coverages lost and things that happened in the defensive end?
Yeah, I think so. We got to be harder all over the ice, D zone especially. Net front on the walls, chipping pucks out, that kind of thing.
Is this one of the things that I want to better?
That's Oilers captain Conor McDavid speaking to the media following a 6-3 loss to the Anaheim Ducks in Game 3. McDavid scoring his third goal of the postseason, an absolute beauty. All right, we'll go to the Ducks locker room. Ryan Getzlaf standing by.
I guess I'll ask about the start, first of all, what you were looking for. It didn't hold the lead, but can you talk about how important that was and how you guys built on that eventually?
Yeah, again, I thought we came out and executed properly in that first period. Did a lot of good things. Obviously, we got rewarded for a few of them. It was about coming out in this building. It's tough atmosphere to play in, awesome, fun, and our guys did a great job in that first period.
You're looking at a 3-0 lead. You're probably feeling really good, and then all of a sudden it's 3-3. Is it hard to Well, I mean, what happens at that point? Did he get deflated or
Yeah, well, I mean, it's hard not to. I mean, when you're talking about emotional games, there's ups and downs and there's different things. That goal at the end of the first hurt us. I thought that, had we come in here with that 3-goal lead, everybody's feeling good. You're doing the same thing. So, again, our group showed a little bit of resiliency there. We bounced back and got a big one from Wagner there, and away we went from there.
Got a little bit of puck luck that might have been missing in the first 2 games with Wagner's goal.
Well, again, I thought, both teams, even their first goal, borderline high stick off a guy's body and in, and that's the way playoff hockey works, both ways. It was nice to get one of those bounces tonight, and we'll try and build off it.
Gibson after
you guys keeping your cool. I'm sorry. Like I said, it's 3-3. Is this evidence of you guys keeping your cool and of being a veteran team to not just continue spiraling?
We keep using that term veteran team. Our oldest defenseman, I think, is 27 or 26, but it's, the thing that we're doing properly is we're responding to adversity. We're not getting out of sorts, and there's going to be ups and downs throughout every playoff game, every series, and it's about controlling our emotions and using it in our advantage. And tonight we did a good job at staying calm, sticking with the system, and we got a bounce. I mean, that's, Wagner's goal is a well-executed play up until that point. He puts it on the net, and we get a bounce.
Is that what Gibson did after the 3rd goal as well? Like shut the door, stayed?
Well, yeah. I mean, you look at the way Gibby settled in there, and a couple point-blank chances they had. He comes up big and makes the stops that we expect of him, and it makes the whole game easier on us.
What sort of momentum turner is this for Wednesday?
Ryan Getzlaf discussing his team's 6-3 victory over the Edmonton Oilers. Ryan Getzlaf, another strong night for the Ducks captain. A goal and an assist, +1, 22:02 time on ice. Talking about his goaltender, John Gibson, who had the bounces go his way, but you got to be good to be lucky, and Gibson was rock solid in this one, especially in the second period when the Oilers were throwing everything but the kitchen sink at the Ducks goaltender, who held the fort like his counterpart Cam Talbot did in Game 2. We'll go now to John Gibson in the Ducks locker room.
Your mental toughness, letting that 3-goal lead get tied, but you shut the door when you needed to. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the first 2, it's kind of lucky bounces. I mean, we've got some bounces that hit the post and haven't gone in, and they've got some that went in. But I mean, that's hockey, and I think it shows a lot of credit to us just to be able to stay with it and get the big goal at the end of the period.
It's another obvious question, but what does it mean for you guys to win one in this building when you need it most?
Yeah, I mean, we've been in the position before. I mean, we're not proud of it, but it's a position that we've been in before, and I think we have the belief in each other and in the team that we can come in here and win some games.
Do or die position that you play. How quickly or how is it that you move beyond, like I said, those fluky ones? With those first 2.
Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating. I mean, if I told you it wasn't frustrating, I'd be lying. But I think everybody's frustrated. But at the same time, if we sit there and worry about that, they're going to keep coming and maybe get another one. So I think the faster we can put it behind us and move on, and I think we did a good job. I mean, obviously they had a push, but that was expected.
They kept going. Yeah, they kept coming after 3-3. How'd you stay cool there?
I mean, I mean, like I said, we knew they were going to come, and we just kind of had to batten it down. I mean, they came hard. They're a good team. They're going to get their chances.
But once you get to the second period, your guys got caught out there for a little while.
There's Ducks goaltender John Gibson making 24 saves on the night. Some of them some 5-bellers in the second period. Ones that come to mind, a one-timer off Andre Sekera, a Patrick Maroon one-timer on a 3-on-1. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins also had a great opportunity to get the Oilers ahead, although the Oilers being tied up with the Ducks only lasted 48 seconds before Chris Wagner scored. So a game of bounces that went the Ducks' way on this night. One guy who had a lot of bounces go his way, Jakob Silfverberg, who had 3 points. We go now to the Ducks' room where he's speaking as we speak.
Obviously such a pivotal game. 3-0 is very different, being down 3-0 from 2-1. What do you take into this couple days break that you guys now have off?
You just gotta keep coming on with that mentality right off the bat. You can't sit back and kind of receive. You gotta be the team that pushes forward, and I think that's what we did tonight. We come out with a 3-0 lead, and we're playing good hockey. So just keep pounding on getting the job done early, and then just keep pushing from there.
McDavid kid can play a little bit, can he?
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously a dynamic player, and he scores a big goal for him tonight. He can do some stuff out there that other guys can't do. So, I mean, we pay him the respect he needs, but I think we're doing a pretty good job at playing against him too.
He had only one assist in the first 2
With talking about the opportunity lost, in fact, twice possibly, an opportunity lost. Lost twice? Well, I mean, you had a chance to be up 3-0 in the series, then you fought your way back to get a 3-3 tie, and then happen again.
Yeah, well, this game gets wrapped up in one bow, not we don't divide it in a bunch of pieces. We weren't very good. They got the win. You know, we didn't take advantage of the energy that was around us early in the game, obviously 25 seconds in. By the first time out, we were down by 2. By the second time out, we were down by 3, and we worked our way back in, but it wasn't our night. We weren't sharp enough. We weren't alert. Individual miscues were plenty. They were all over the board. You know, you couldn't even really shorten a bench to find 2 or 3 lines or get down to 5 defensemen. There was that many that were erring on a consistent basis. So, you know, I think that we park it, we move on, and we get ready to play. That's a team that hasn't lost, I don't think, 3 times in a row in I don't know how many games. So for us to think that it was going to be a 4-0 easy cakewalk, it wasn't. And, you know, we're now experiencing what it's like to play against a very desperate, hard, hungry team. And good for us. We'll learn as we go, and we know we can be better than that. But the details are going to have to get a lot more polished up.
That's the second game in a row where they were the better team. You sneak a win out in the first one. But do you have, during the regular season, goes like this a little bit, there's less time in the playoffs. How do you turn this thing around faster? Because it's got to happen faster in the playoffs.
Well, we have to play it within our structure. When we're making mistakes, a lot of times we're cheating on the wrong side. We're not coming out of our end clean. Our neutral zone isn't real good, and we got to get back to some structure. And we'll take tomorrow. We'll practice on Tuesday. We'll try and fix a few things. Our power play certainly has to get better. But I can go down a long laundry list. We'll get back to work and we'll try and fix things.
Todd, the goal that you challenged for being offside, what did you see?
Well, it's one of those, your eyes are telling you it's offside. But if you're the linesman, you're going, I don't know for sure. And the call on the ice stands. So it's disappointing because I think even they likely know it's offside, but they can't confirm it. So, you know, but that was, let's not kid ourselves, that wasn't the backbreaker. The backbreaker was about 25 seconds in.
Todd, you made a switch with McDavid onto the Lucic-Eberle line. Just maybe your thought process for doing that, and...
Well, it was 3-0. We're at the second time out. Things sure weren't looking good, so we had to try something. Just shake things up.
Right. Can you just comment on what you've gotten out of Eberle the last little bit here, where you think his game is at?
Not enough.
What's left?
Just to maybe follow up on that, I know you put him in a line with Nugent Hopkins, more maybe defensive role. Do you think that's hampered him? Has he lost his confidence offensively? He just doesn't seem to be making plays we've seen in the past.
Well, he hasn't played in this type of situation in the past, so let's not evaluate him based on the past. This is a new experience for him. And, you know, he's learning as he goes as well. And it's great to be making strong plays on the board and checking well and that type of stuff, but you also have to find a way to contribute on the power play. And he's not the only one, but he's one that stands out right now. And I think the day off will help him as well. It will allow us to work on some things in practice. And we all expect him to be better, but more importantly, we expect the whole group to improve.
There you have it. Todd McLellan discussing his team's 6-3 loss to the Anaheim Ducks in Game 3. He said the backbreaker came 25 seconds in. Ricard Raquel sent in on a breakaway by Ryan Getzlaf. As a matter of fact, we'll take a look at the highlights from this one. This One we all thought would be an exciting game. Great atmosphere around Edmonton and in the playoffs, and the mood was killed right away. Ricard Raquel with the buzz kill just 25 seconds in. Getzlaf with the great feed to him to send him in. Later on in the period, it would be Jakob Silfverberg. He has been outstanding for the Ducks this postseason. Scramble in front. Adam Larson can't bang it away, and there's Silfverberg. Johnny on the spot to put it home. And then off a giveaway from Darnell Nurse, Ryan Getzlaf goes top cheddar on Cam Talbot. An absolute snipe from him. The Oilers, of course, pulling to within 2 by the end of the period. Patrick Maroon on a redirection, going to those tough areas, the kind of goals you expect Maroon to get. So that made it 3-1 after 1. Early in the second, David Desharnais throws one out front. It goes off of Anton Slepyshev's skate, and then Shea Theodore tries to bat it away. He actually bats it into his own net. Later in the period, Conor McDavid with the nice move there on Sami Vatanen, and then he goes upstairs on John Gibson. An absolutely stellar goal from the Oilers captain, his third of the postseason. That would be the equalizer, but it would only last 48 seconds. Chris Wagner just throws one on net. Cam Talbot mishandles it, goes off of his arm and in. A tough bounce there. Again, a buzzkill in the room. And then later on, it would be all Ducks. That one is Silfverberg again, and then later we would see Ryan Kesler add another one to put the final nail in the coffin. This is the Silfverberg goal here. The offside that Todd McLellan was discussing. The Oilers challenged this play. It went to review. Turned out to be inconclusive from what the officials could see. The goal stood. This is Kesler putting this one away, making it 6-3. So Todd McLellan says, don't worry about that offside. That really didn't change anything. The backbreaker came 25 seconds in. The Oilers did give themselves a chance in this one to, bring it back into contention. And then, you know what? Cam Talbot's been outstanding for them this entire postseason, save for Game 4 in San Jose. The Oilers couldn't pull him out of this one. He was good last game. He was stellar last game, matter of fact, making 39 saves. On this night, he would make just 22 saves. Again, this is the type of performance we expect from the Ducks. They weren't going to go down quietly. The Oilers, in this situation for the first time, they did fight back in that second period, but fall short ultimately. One other game in the postseason tonight, it was Nashville at St. Louis. We have the highlights for you. We'll roll them as we get set for Randy Carlyle coming up shortly.
Out to the point for Yossi. Now Zolnarchuk. No, this is not a power play, although it looks like one.
6 and 55 are just toast. They're out of gas.
Yossi with a drive. He scores!
Offense from the defense. Patient.
Nashville winning that game. They take a 2-1 series lead over the St. Louis Blues. Randy Carlyle speaking now in the Hall of Fame room downstairs.
And then all of a sudden it's 3-3. What are you thinking at that point?
Well, again, we're playing a quality hockey club in their own barn, and they're not going to, turn over and just give you the hockey game, after one period. And it was important that our response to the Wagner goal obviously gave us the 4-3 lead, and then we managed to get to the break, and we tried to, convince our group that it was time to regroup here and get back to doing what we did. And the first 5 minutes of the third was the most important part of the game from that point on.
Randy, when it's 3-3, Gibby made a series of saves. How big were they at that point?
Well, they're huge. They're the one we gave up a 3-on-1. From our blue line in, pass across, and we had a defenseman went down the middle, and forward was sitting there waiting for the pass, and next thing you know, it was 3-on-1, and I think it was a pass from, it was Draisaitl to Maroon, and he made the big stop, and then there was a rebound that he got over on also. So those are two huge stops at that juncture in the game, and then I think it was a 4-3 game, and it kind of, like I said, it just got us through the toughest period of the hockey game for us, and we were able to get into the intermission and regroup ourselves and play more of the type of game that was required.
Randy, how would you describe your team's start? And on that opening goal, that's obviously a set play, was it? Or?
Well, we can't tell you all our secrets. We have some things that we like to do, and it's just one of the options that are available to us. And it worked tonight, and I just give that to our players. They're the ones that execute it.
Did you install that for just this game, or is it something that you used previously?
Another team used it against us, so we steal as coaches.
What did you see though that made you put that in? Did you see some sort of opportunity that they presented in the first couple games?
No, I think it just sets up for us because we do a lot of two guys of one line and one of another, and it didn't stray from our set, and we had the right people, and they executed it, and got us a break, got us going.
Silfverberg is how he's on the checking line, but he's got an awfully good shot.
Well, Sylvie is a tremendous hockey player, and if you look at the stat sheet tonight, he was all over it, and he's the type of guy that's kind of an unsung, unassuming individual, but he really is a tremendous hockey player, and we're very, very fortunate to have him. He can do a lot of things, and from my vantage point, previous to me getting the job in Anaheim when I was unemployed, I spent some time in the press box, and watching him play reminded me of Daniel Alfredson. He had that type of demeanor about him. He was good on the defensive side of it, but he found ways to provide offense. He's a dynamic player, a good checker, and that's who I felt that he resembled.
Randy, obviously Cam Talbot had a big game too there. When you guys get those 3 goals and score early in that manner, did that give you guys a sense, hey, look, we can get pucks past this guy?
Well, I guess what we tried to do is, and we're not any different, if you just chart where the goals are being scored from. They get 2 goals. One was a stick that was deemed, it wasn't high stick, but it was close. Goes in off Maroon's body. Next one goes in off of our defenseman's skate to get them to 3-2. And, those are the type of goals that are being scored. So we have to get into that dirty area more consistent. And that's what we tried to do, is we tried to make sure that we weren't going to be careless with the puck in the offensive zone, try to cycle and play a lot of the game below the goal line and rotate our D around, move people around, and, force their better or so-called better players to play defense, keep them 200 feet away from your net.
But to follow up, I think at least 2 of your, those 3 goals were clean shots from McLellan and Getzlaf, particularly for goal scorers.
Yeah, the Getzlaf shot
like that.
That's a pretty big league shot, but he read the play, and there was basically they rimmed the puck, and he read the play and picked off the puck on a rim, and he was stepping, as we would call it, in ladies' tees, and maybe you're not supposed to use that term anymore, in forward tees. In today's society, and he put it upstairs. It's a pretty big league shot, big league goal.
Randy, these 2 days in Kelowna, what do you want your team to kind of focus on, or you just want them to kind of just get away?
Well, tomorrow we'll just try to heal the bumps and bruises. We felt that it would give us some time there. We could just go and relax. A lot of guys have been there before. They know the area. It's more for us to just kind of say exhale. We've had some very busy schedule. We're afforded the two-day break here. We just felt that it would be better suited for our group to be in that environment, practice in the Kelowna Rockets building, and just kind of take it easy. And then we'll be back here on Tuesday preparing for the game against the Oilers on Wednesday. Well, there was a similar shift. If you watch the Nashville game this afternoon in St. Louis, there was 1 minute and 45 seconds in the St. Louis zone, and that's what it felt like to us. It was very similar. We just didn't, we didn't give up the goal, and we got 2 guys make some big block shots. So that's the type of hockey, and that's what you're going to have from your group going forward. That they're going to be prepared to sacrifice in those situations to prevent goals. And in the playoffs, it's just as important, and maybe even more important, to prevent a goal as it is to score one.
Ducks head coach Randy Carlyle having a little bit of fun there with the media following his team's 6-3 win in Game 3. Carlyle taking his team to Kelowna for a couple of days. The Ducks will head there tonight, spend the next couple of days practicing at the Rockets facility, then return for Wednesday's Game 4, which takes place here at Rogers Place, 8 p.m. puck drop. Game 5 goes Friday in Orange County at Honda Center at 8:30 p.m. The Oilers dropping a 6-3 decision tonight in Game 3 to the Anaheim Ducks. They continue to lead this series 2-1. We'll look to take a 3-1 series lead Wednesday night. We thank you for watching Oilers TV Playoffs Post-Game Live. Join us again on Wednesday when we got you covered from the beginning of the day all the way to post-game. Thanks and have a great night.
Out to the point for Yossi. Now Zolnarchuk. No, this is not a power play, although it looks like one.
6 and 55 are just toast. They're out of gas.
Yossi with a drive. He scores!
Offense from the defense. Patience and poise with the puck. And an extreme amount of fatigue for Joel Edmondson and Colton Parayko.
Puck bounces off Arvidsson. Kept in by Pietrangelo. Now Steen in front looking for Tarasenko. Schwartz across. Stastny just missed.
But watch PK Subban stick right there. Wow. That's what stopped Stastny from putting the puck in.
The Nashville Predators take Game 3.